Hey, Cara Jane here with Ice Cream for Buttercream, and today I want to share with you my recipe for vanilla almond cake with cherry buttercream. A while back I got a comment on one of my other videos from a viewer who requested that I make an almond cake with cherry buttercream, and I thought that was a fantastic idea. The cake part of this recipe is based off of my favorite vanilla bean cake recipe, which is also on the blog. And this recipe is really versatile. If you don't like an almond flavor to your cake, you can totally cut out the almond emulsion. That's okay. It's still going to taste great, and you're still going to be adding the vanilla in it, so it's going to still have a really great vanilla taste to it. So this cake is really a very moist cake, and a lot of scratch vanilla cakes come out a little dry, but you're not going to have a problem with this one. This one always comes out very moist, and I'm adding sour cream to this one, which is my favorite thing to do to cakes, but it really helps with keeping the cake moist. So there's two things that I want to point out about this recipe. The first thing is that this recipe calls for cake flour instead of all-purpose flour. So there are two different types of flours there, so don't mix them up. You want to make sure that you're using cake flour in this recipe. And the second thing that I want to tell you about is that we're going to be using the reverse creaming method for this cake. So don't panic or anything. It's really simple. Instead of creaming the butter and the sugar like you would do normally when you're mixing up a cake, we're going to be mixing our dry ingredients and then adding in the butter to coat the flour mixture first. But I'm going to show you how to do that in the video. We're using this method because when you do the reverse creaming method, you really get a much softer texture to your cake. It just really makes a big difference to me that I have found, and especially when you use the cake flour. So the cake flour in combination with the reverse creaming method really makes for a very soft, velvety texture to your cake. And I've also included a link in the description for the recipe. If you want to go to the blog post, you can click on that. It'll take you straight to the post, and then you can print out the recipe so you'll have it handy when you're making your cake. Okay, so let's get started on this recipe.